Hello, welcome to Challenging Yoga for August. Almost missed August, I know, I apologise. I've been trying to film the last few days and it's been a little bit too windy. So every time I've gone to film myself, the camera's fallen over and you've not been able to hear me anyway. So I'm currently in tent number 1 at Kinta Alma. It does have a name, but I can't remember the name of the tent. And fortunately here, I think I'm sheltered enough from the wind that you should be able to hear me. Fingers crossed. And pray for Shavasana will be quickly following this video as well. So again, very sorry for the delay in getting these videos to you. It's just been, I could offer many excuses, but just know that I'm sorry. They're on the way. Okay, so today, challenging practice. We're going to be doing some Uddiyana Bandha activation work, very strong practice. So to prepare yourselves, just come to sitting on your mats, cross-leg kneeling, whatever your preference may be. Tilt the pelvis forwards, lengthen through your spine, roll your shoulder blades backwards, and with your eyes closed, just start focusing on your breathing. Breathing easy, breathing naturally. Normal breaths as you tune in. Tuning into your breathing, tuning into your body. Just allowing yourselves to settle as you settle into this space, onto your mats, into your body. Can you soften? Can you let go? Letting go of tensions in your body. Letting go of thoughts in your mind. Let go of the day. Let go of the week. Letting go of things to come. Be here now. Be on your mats. In this present moment. No thoughts need thinking about. And there is nowhere else to be. Taking control of your breathing. Breathing in deeper. Deep belly breaths in and out through the nose. Every inhale, breathing into your maximum lung capacity. Breathing in as deep as you can. Every exhale, squeezing all the breath out of your body. Deeper inhales, longer exhales. Whole of your body expanding with every breath in. Whole of your body softening with every breath out. To begin our practice today, we will start with Kapalabhati pranayama. Get the abdominals working, get the core muscles working. And so to remind you how we do Kapalabhati, deep breath in, complete exhale. We then breathe in half a breath, filling the lungs halfway. And then we pump the half breath in and out of the lungs by pumping the stomach as quick as we can. So quick, short, sharp bursts of pulling the belly button in towards the spine, forcing the half breath out of the lungs. And when we release, it pulls the half breath back in. So round after round, we're going to go for 108 rounds. After 108 rounds, deep breath in, complete exhale. We're then going to engage Uddiyana Bandha, the central lock. If you want to engage Mula Bandha as well, you're more than welcome to. But Uddiyana Bandha, the central lock, pulling the belly button in towards the spine and up into the rib cage, engaging the lock, holding Uddiyana Bandha, the central lock, with the lungs empty, and seeing how long you can hold this for, wrestling with the urge to breathe if and when it stirs inside of you. So, Kapalabhati Pranayama. Tilt the pelvis forwards, lengthen through the spine, roll the shoulder blades backwards. Deep breath in. Complete exhale. Half breath. Pump the belly. And then deep breath in. Total exhale. Hold the exhale, Uddiyana Bandha. Pull the belly button into the spine, lock the core in, and holding for as long as you can. Lungs are empty. The stronger you engage the lock, the harder it is to hold the breath. Wrestle with the feeling of coming out of the practice, stay with it. And when you can no longer hold Uddiyana Bandha, release the lock, and then come back into your breathing. Deep yogi breaths through the nose. And then when you're back in your breathing, opening your eyes. So just bringing both of your feet onto your mats in front of you. Wrapping your arms around your ankles, pull yourselves as smallly and as tight as you can, bringing the forehead to the knees. Just a few breaths here. Feel your belly move against your thighs, your body moving against your legs. Every exhale, see if you can squeeze yourself smaller and tighter. Every inhale, breathing into that smaller, tighter space. And just feel your whole body breathing, staying here. Feel that you're breathing to the back of your rib cage, the space between the shoulder blades. One more breath. And then rolling onto your backs, onto your mats. Keeping the knees close into the chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, squeezing yourselves nice and tightly, nice and small. Bring the arms along the floor in line with the shoulders, palms facing the ceiling. Bring your heads back down as your mats. Deep breath in as we exhale, just dropping the legs onto the floor on the left side of your mats, the right leg on top of the left leg, and just twisting through the spine, breathing here. Allow the weight of the right leg on top of the left to twist your body. Breathe into the right side of your body, breathing into the right lung. Use that space you've created. Two more breaths. And then inhaling, come back to center. Exhaling, taking your legs the other way. Legs onto the floor on the right side of your mats. Left leg on top of the right leg. Just an easy spinal twist. Few breaths here. Breathing to the left lung. Feel that line from the armpit down the outside of the hip to the outside of the left thigh. Breathe into that line. Breathe into that space. And then as we inhale, coming back to center, bring the knees back to the chest, wrapping your arms around your legs, squeeze yourselves nice and tidy, nice and small, bringing the forehead to the knees. And then bring the arms either side of you, palms facing the sky, shoot the legs up towards the ceiling, locking the knees in. So lower back is flat to the floor. Shoulder blades are high off your mats, trying to bring your chest towards your thighs, and then keeping your lower back flat to the floor, pushing through the heels. Bring your legs as low as you can, and then holding here. Whilst we're holding here, Kapalabhati Pranayama, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel that with every exhale, you're really squeezing the belly in, squeezing the breath out of the lungs. And then coming up into boat. So you bend your knees, bring the chest up, hands either side of the legs, and then holding here for another 3 breaths. Keep the shins as parallel to the ceiling as you can. If you like, completely straightening the legs, pushing through the heels, maybe even pointing through the toes, trying to keep the knees together. And then bring the knees into the chest, rolling onto your backs, and then rocking backwards and forwards along your spines. So if you like, come into the back of your head, giving the back of your head a little massage as well. And then, without using your hands, just using momentum, see if you can come straight up to standing at the top of your mats. So big toes together, small gap between the heels, straightening through the legs, lengthening through the spine, rolling shoulder blades back towards each other, palms facing the front. Deep belly breath in. As we exhale, the hands come together. Inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling, deep belly breath. Exhaling, swan dive to a forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, the right foot steps back, come to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, kicking back to plank. As we exhale, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. As we inhale, slide up into cobra, pressing hips down, lifting shoulders. Exhaling, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, left foot between the hands. Inhaling, reaching through the whole of your body, pressing down through the heels. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. And again, breathing in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling long through the sides of the body, reaching through the fingers. Exhaling, swan dive to a forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, stepping the left foot back, come to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, kicking back to plank. Exhaling, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. Inhaling, sliding onto cobra, pressing hips down, lifting shoulders. Exhaling, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the left foot between the hands. Exhaling, right foot between the hands. Inhaling, pressing down through the heels, reaching through the whole of your body. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. And again, breathing in. Exhaling, the hands come together. Inhaling last time, reaching through the whole of your body, pushing the hips forwards, bit of a back bend. As we exhale, swan dive to a forward fold, hands on the floor. Stepping or jumping back to a plank. Half press up, chaturanga, nice and low to your mats, and then holding here. Snake in the grass. Circling your shoulders over your wrists, one way and then the other. Coming back into center, coming back to stillness as we inhale, upward facing dog. So pressing down on the feet, lift the knees, lift the hips, pulling your chest through the arms, pressing down through the palms. Shoulder blades drawing backwards, opening your chest, making space for your lungs, and then breathing to the back bend. One more breath. Exhaling, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, left heel to your mats. Inhaling, warrior one, hips square to the front of your mats. Exhaling, folding forwards, kicking back to plank. Optional, right leg lifted. Everyone press up. Up dog. Right toes back on the floor, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the left foot between the hands. Exhaling, right heel to your mats. Inhaling, warrior one. Exhaling, folding forwards, kicking back to plank. Optional, left leg lifted, everyone press up, up dog, left toes back on the floor, downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, looking between the hands, step the right foot between the hands, and then bring the right arm on the inside of the right leg, setting up for your lizard bind. So dropping your shoulders as low as you can, keep both legs nice and strong, right arm under the right thigh, hand on the lower back, left hand behind the back, holding the hand, squeezing the bind, breathing here. So pressing down through the right heel, pushing back through the left heel, keeping the left hip low to the ground, hips are level to the floor, and then lengthening through the spine, through the crown of your head, holding for 2 more breaths. As we inhale, releasing the bind, hands reaching up, straightening through the legs, reaching through the arms, reaching up everything to the sky, and then as we exhale, coming down into our high lunge. So nice and grounded down through the heel, through the right heel, dropping the right bum cheek nice and low, so thighs coming parallel to the floor. Left leg behind us, pressing back through the left heel as we pull the left hip further forwards, squaring ourselves to the front of our mats, and then holding for 5 breaths. Shoulder blades drawing backwards away from the ears. And then hands either side of the right leg, coming down onto your mats. Flip the left foot over, so now you're on top of the left foot. Keep squeezing your hips towards each other as you come back up. So pulling the right hip back, left hip forwards, squaring the hips to the front of your mats, pressing down on the top of the left foot, pressing down through the right heel, holding for 3 more breaths. And then as we inhale, both hands reaching up, exhaling, folding forwards, hands on the mats, kicking the right foot back, downward facing dog. Rest, freestyle, otherwise vinyasa. Inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up, inhaling, up dog, exhaling back into down dog. And then stepping the left foot between the hands. Bringing the left hand on the inside of the left leg, setting up for your lizard bind once again. Left arm on the inside of the left thigh, shoulder, try and bring it lower than the knee. Left arm under the thigh, hand on the lower back, right hand over the top, holding the hand, squeezing the arms, lengthening through the spine, pressing back through the right heel, pressing down through the left heel, dropping the right hip nice and low, breathing here. Two more breaths. As we inhale, releasing the bind, hands reaching up nice and high, straightening through both the legs, everything lifting up. As we exhale, high lunge, nice and low in the hips, squares to the front of your mats, pressing down through the left heel, pushing back through the right heel, holding here. Deep belly breathing. Almost no bend in the right knee as you drive back through the heel. Shoulder blades again, pulling down, away from the ears. Last breath. As we inhale, both hands reaching up, exhaling, folding forwards, hands either side of the left foot, flipping the right foot, and then pressing down on the top of the right foot. Keep squeezing your hips towards each other, nice and strong. Pressing down through the left heel, pressing down through the right heel. 3 more breaths. As we inhale, both hands reaching up, exhaling, folding forwards, hands on the mats, kicking the left foot back, downward facing dog. Rest, freestyle, otherwise vinyasa with your breath, inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up, inhaling to up dog, exhaling to down dog. Stepping the right foot between the hands, dropping your left heel to your mats, Bringing the right arm on the inside of the right leg, setting up for warrior bind. So right shoulder nice and low, right arm under the thigh, hand on the lower back, left hand behind the back as well. Create the bind, squeeze the arms, and then turn, looking over the left shoulder. Keep dropping your hips nice and low, opening through the front of the body as you twist on the spine, and then breathing in here. Squeezing the bind as strong as you can, pressing down through the right heel, pressing to the outside of the left foot. And then looking back at your mats, hands on the floor on the inside of the right foot, kicking the right leg back, downward facing dog. Stepping the left foot between the hands, dropping your right heel to your mats, left arm inside of left leg, shoulders nice and low, left arm under the thigh, hand on the lower back, right hand behind the back, holding the hands, squeezing the arms, pressing away through both the legs, twisting on the spine, looking over the right shoulder, breathing here, deep breaths. Feel the strength in the left leg, pressing to the outside of the right foot. Last breath. And then looking back at your mats, hands back on the floor, kicking the left foot back, downward facing dog. Rest, freestyle, otherwise vinyasa, in your own time, with your breath. And then hop, step or jump to Malasana, deep yogi squats. So elbows on the insides of the knees, palms together towards the heart, then down towards the hips, focusing on lengthening through the spine, through the crown of your head. Either staying here, otherwise opening the right arm against the inside of the right leg, right palm is planted, pushing off the right leg, taking your left hand up towards the sky, looking at your left fingertips, keeping both hips nice and open. So keep driving the left knee away from you, keep pressing down through the heels. Option to stay here, otherwise going for the bind, wrapping the right arm around the right leg, left hand behind the back, squeezing the hands, twisting on the spine, looking over the left shoulder, and then just pulling shoulder blades backwards, trying to open your chest as much as you can. Chest open, hips open, pressing to the outside of the feet, squeezing on the bind. And then releasing the bind, returning back to center. Same again on the other side, opening the left arm against the left leg, palm planted, twisting on the spine, looking to the right fingers. And then again, as you breathe here, driving everything open, chest open, hips open, breathing in the twist, squeezing on the belly. Otherwise, going for the bind, left arm around the left leg, right hand behind the back, squeezing on the hands, squeezing on the arms, twisting, looking over the right shoulder, and breathing here. Last breath. Before returning back to center, coming back to Malasana, your deep yogi squats. From here, peace fingers on your big toes as you straighten your legs, slightly wide leg forward fold, but pulling yourselves deeper using the strength of your arms. So legs as straight as they can be without locking the knees in. Tilt the pelvis forwards, really hang through the spine, and use the strength of your arms to try and pull yourselves deeper, the upper body coming between the legs. If you fancy, just try moving between the legs, stretching one and the other, Try and tease them open, invite them to ease and soften. Maybe the line down the back of your thighs is a little bit tight. It's always the way for me. Always needs a little bit more encouragement just to soften and lengthen the muscles. And then from here, bring the feet together, big toes together. Right fingers turned out, left peace fingers around the left big toe. Picking the left knee up to the outside of your left shoulder. Balancing on the right foot. Supporting weight on the right hand. And then extending the left leg in line with the hip. Try to lock the left knee in. So imagine your legs at a 90-degree angle. Left heel as high as you can keep it. And after one more breath, bring the left foot back down onto your mats, taking the left hand out, right peace fingers on the right big toe, picking the leg up, right knee to the outside of the shoulder, engaging through the left leg, supporting the weight on the left hand, and then extending through the right heel, out to the side, again in line with your hip. So try and lock the right knee in. After one more breath, bring the right foot back down onto your mats, and then both peace fingers on both big toes, pulling yourselves down into a little baby squat. Try and bring your bum as close to your heels as you can without your heels lifting off your mats. Breathing here. Two more breaths. And then, keeping hold of your left foot, start straightening your left leg out in front of you. Pistol squat. So locking the left knee in, pulling back on the left toes, balancing on the right foot. Three more breaths. Before bringing the left foot back in. Same with the right foot, holding to your right toes, straightening the right leg out in front of you, pushing through the heel. Again, lock the knee in, holding your balance. Deep belly breaths. Your belly moving against your left thigh. And then coming back onto both feet, keeping hold of your toes, straighten your legs, forward, bring your big toes to touching, small gap between the heels, and then just putting yourselves deeper, trying to bring your forehead to the shins, crown of the head toward your toes. Three more breaths, softening the spine, hanging out of the hips. And then slowly stacking the spine, placing one vertebrae on top of the other. Slowly calming up to standing, making your way to eventually standing in Tadasana, mountain pose, standing on your mats, chest open, long through the spine. So we're going to do an Uddiyana Bandha activation practice now. This practice can be very strong. If at any point it feels a bit too much, sometimes you can feel a bit dizzy, a bit woozy, you know, when you go from the ground to standing up quickly and you kind of lose your vision. That's a common thing that can happen in this practice. So if that happens, just stand. If you feel like you're going to go over, obviously go down to the ground get on your knees. If you're able, try and stand through it. So you keep your eyes closed. You're going to feel like you've lost your vision, you might feel a bit dizzy. Just try and continue standing and it will pass. But the practice for the Uddiyana Bandha is that we inhale, we reach up, breathing in as deep as we can. We then exhale, coming down, blowing through the mouth. And by the time our hands reach the floor, our lungs are completely empty, and our lungs are so empty that we're already squeezing the belly in. So at the end of the exhale, we bring the hands onto the thighs. It helps to have fingers on the inside, thumbs on the outside, so you can focus on getting the elbows locked in, giving you the most length through your spine. You want to keep the spine nice and long, nice and open, chest open. And then from here, again, you're already completely exhaled, so the bandha is kind of already activated. But now deliberately taking control, you're pulling the belly button into the spine, but also up into the rib cage. So that is Uddiyana Bandha. And again, with the lungs empty, the stronger and harder you engage this, the more challenging it is going to be to hold it. So if your lungs are completely empty, you've engaged that lock to the absolute maximum, you might not be able to hold it for very long, which is fine. We're going to hold it for as long as we can. When you can no longer hold, you release the bandha and then you come back into your breath. Take a moment, take as long as you need. You may need to stand here, get control of your breathing, allow your body to settle, but then when you are ready, we'll be doing another round. So then again, it's inhaling up, exhaling down, and continuing like this. So we'll do a round together. I'll talk you through it, and then I will carry on by myself for you to try by yourself. But if you need to see what I'm doing, then obviously there is the visual aid to remind you. So we inhale up, exhale down, lungs empty, hands on the thighs, lock the elbows in, Uddiyana Bandha. Squeeze the belly in and hold. Lungs are empty, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing as strong as you can. Maintain the intensity, maintain the lock, holding, and when you can't hold, release. Come up, come back in your breathing. Take a moment, observe what has happened in your body. Recognize what this practice has done. And then when you're ready, we're going to be going through a few rounds in our own time. So, in your own time. So one more round, one final round together, and this one, your strongest, your most intense. Give this one your all. So together, inhaling up. And then just coming into your Tadasana, mountain pose. Big toes together, small gap between the heels, straightening through the legs, lengthening through the spine. With your eyes closed, just observing what this breath has done inside of you, how you are now feeling. Noticing your breath, observing your body. And then just making your way down onto your mats in whichever way you prefer. Okay, so we're going to straighten one leg out, straighten the right leg out, bringing the left heel into the right hip. So as much as possible, pulling that heel in towards the hip, bringing it as close as you can. From here, pull the knees to your bums, so your sitting bones are facing backwards, mindful of the left knee. If there's any pain, you need to readjust so your left toes and your left knee are pointing in the same direction. But we're inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, folding forwards nice and long, grabbing a hold of toes, ankle, shin, just grabbing a hold wherever you can. And then trying to pull your chin and chest forwards, down your leg towards your toes. Couple of breaths here. Make sure you can feel that you're coming forwards from the pelvis. You're not just coming forwards by rounding the spine, you're actually trying to come down towards your leg, out of the hips, through the spine. And after a few more breaths, maintaining what you can feel as you work to lengthen out of the pelvis, you can round the spine to bring your forehead towards the right knee. And then just breathing deep belly breaths here. Few more breaths. And then easing off, coming up, keeping your left heel close into the right hip, bend your right knee, then place your right foot on your mats. So your right foot is on the floor and your left knee is up in the air. From here, try and sit on your right heel with your left bum. So your left knee comes down, the right bum comes up. So again, heel in front of you, hip both bum cheeks on the floor, trying to sit on the right heel with the left bum, so the top of your left thigh comes towards the floor and the left knee comes towards your mats. From here, try and bring the right arm on the inside of the right leg, coming forwards over the left leg, and then wrapping your right arm around the right leg, trying to bring your right hand behind the back. From here, eventually bringing the hands together behind the back, creating the bind, squeezing the arms, and then you're folding forwards, trying to bring your forehead into the space between your left shin and your right toes. Whilst you're squeezing here, strong belly breathing. So this is a very powerful posture for your digestive system, the area we've just worked with Uddiyana Bandha. So every exhale, squeeze the belly in, see if you can melt further forwards, and again, just pull yourselves tighter, trying to get deeper into this posture. And then easing off, calming up, straightening your right leg out in front of you. Bring your left foot onto the floor on the inside of your right leg. Coming onto the inside of the right foot, left hand on the floor behind you, pushing your hips away, coming into wild things, so driving the hips forwards, taking the right hand back, and then trying to twist on the left shoulder to turn your chest out towards the ceiling. Opening your chest, opening the front of the body, pushing the hips further away, pressing away through the left hand, and trying to bring the right hand towards the floor behind you. Again, just breathing here, feel the space you've created for your right lung. Breathe into that space, and every exhale, see if you can turn, twist, back bend a little bit further. Last breath, and then making your way back down onto your bums, onto your mats, swapping the legs over. So the left leg comes out, the right foot on top of the left thigh, bringing the heel in towards the hip, sitting bones facing backwards, flexing through the left foot, again mindful of your right knee. Inhaling up, exhaling, folding forwards, grabbing a hold of, again, toes, ankles, wherever you can, pulling yourself from the hips first of all, coming down the legs. And then again, a few breaths here, really feel what work is happening here. And if you can maintain this work, then as you exhale, rounding the spine, bringing the forehead to the knee, breathing here. Listening to your breathing. The majority of your organs here on the left side of your body. Give them a squeeze, give them a massage. Remember, your organs are muscles just like the rest of your body. They need a massage too. Every breath, the opportunity to drop deeper. Going into the body, releasing the tension, creating space. And then easing off, calming up. So from here, keeping the foot on the thigh, bending the left knee, left foot on the floor in front of you, so right knee is hovering. Again, we're trying to sit the right bum on the left heel. So as we do, twisting so the right knee comes towards the floor. So again, from the bum to sit on the heel, and then bring the weight forwards, keeping your foot on the left thigh. From here, coming on the inside of the left leg, wrapping the left arm around the left leg. Eventually, right hand behind the back as well, creating the bind, squeezing on the arms, and then trying to melt forwards onto the inside of the right shin, between the left foot. And again, with your breathing, as you squeeze on the arms, try and squeeze the belly stronger, tighter, smaller. Again, just massaging organs, aiding your digestive system and shifting everything around, giving everything a squeeze. Three more breaths. And then easing off, coming up, straightening your left leg out in front of you, have your right foot on the floor on the inside of the left thigh, setting up for wild thing. So right hand onto the floor behind you, coming onto the inside of the left foot, coming up on the right knee, locking the right elbow in, twisting on the right shoulder, opening the chest, twisting on the spine, looking up to the sky, left hand reaching back and behind you, looking to your left fingertips, trying to bring your left hand towards the floor behind you. Breathing into that left lung. Keep pushing the hips further forwards, trying to open the chest, open the body, open the hips, opening everything more, going deep into the back bend, driving away from the right shoulder, strong and right, strong, pardon me, in the right arm. And then circling back down onto your bums, back onto your mats. And then both legs out in front of you, for the meat of your bums, your sitting bones are facing backwards. Inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, folding nice and long, grabbing hold of the toes, ankles, shin, and then once again just pulling yourselves down your legs, from the pelvis through the spine. And we're not going to round through the spine, we're just going to work here. So again, feel that you're coming forward from the pelvis, use the strength of your arms, shoulder blades drawing backwards, down away from the ears, breathing through your legs, through the hips, through the spine. Two more breaths. And then making your way to Shavasana. So taking the feet wider, just coming down to lying on your backs, on your mats, and then just allow everything to open, to fall away as you bring every vertebrae in your spine to make contact with the ground beneath you, and then finding nothing left to do, allowing your body to be still and your breathing to be easy. Normal breaths. Letting go of control. Letting go of tension. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Softening your body. Softening your muscles, softening your organs. Go inside of your body. Feel from the inside. Take your attention, your awareness around the stomach, through your intestines. Explore every piece of your anatomy, even if you cannot feel anything. Just move your mind through the space of yourself as if you could feel. Eventually, as we tune in more and more often, more regularly, sensations, feelings may start to present themselves, may start to be noticed. Bubblings, poppings, churnings, movings. Just observe, just watch. Recognizing the intelligence of your body. All these things happening inside of you that you have no control over, no direct involvement in. There's an intelligence in your body that is you, but that is also not you. The same way that when we may cut our skin, the intelligence of the body knows how to heal, knows how to repair. As we go through the day, as we use our body to exist, there is an intelligence that knows how to keep the organism alive, to keep everything functioning, working, to keep you alive. We may not be able to do anything, involve ourselves, take charge as we so like to do. But in these times, in these moments, we can always watch. We can always just observe. And it is always this way. If we try not to get involved, if we try not to take control, if we just watch, observe, experience our body, our sensations without thinking about them, without worrying, then the body can take care of itself. It can do what it needs to do in order to take care of you. So take this time, this moment, this opportunity in the stillness to witness the intelligence of your body. To practice gratitude, to be thankful that our body can take care of us. And maybe taking this opportunity to promise to take care of it in return. And then bringing movement back into the body, taking deep breaths. as you wiggle fingers and wiggle toes, rotating wrists and ankles, and then moving any way that feels good for you, moving how your body wants to move, having a stretch, having a twist. Do what you got to do. Do what you want to do. And then when you're ready, making your way up onto your mats, and we will bring our practice to a close. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Again, I apologize that this is a video meant for August and it's arriving on the last day of August, and there is one more to come for August. I'm deeply apologizing, deeply sorry. I have managed to create a timetable, a work schedule that I will follow so that I can make sure you get the content in a timely manner. So from here on, I will do better. Thank you all very much. Namaste.